Hi, I'm JJ Stark. This is the grooming section for the Swan Mountain Outfitters Trail Guide Wrangler segment. So today I'm going to start out with the grooming real quick of the horse. I'm just going to do this first side. To start out with, I like to use either a curry comb or a soft brush. I like to use both actually a lot of times. I'm going to start at the head some. I'm going to pull up the mane, and as I go down I'm going to just work with the hair going down. Oftentimes I'll come back over the soft brush, starting with the curry comb, going down, always keeping a point of contact with the horse. So I go down, and I only go down with the curry comb down to here at the knee, stop at the knee, and then go down with the rest. From here, I keep working my way down, starting at the top of the hair, working my way down. So then I like to work with the hair again, but especially get where you're going to be cinching up, where your girth will be going. Feel that. Move gently with the hair. Move down. Keep working. Going down to here again. And while you're doing this, you want to check the legs as you go, making sure there's no major cuts or scratches that are obviously visible. Anything else like that. Last, I'm going to end with the tail, which I actually have a hair comb specifically. And I'm going to stand, I'm going to reach around, cradle the tail out here, but stand next to the hip with the horse to avoid getting kicked. So still working on the tail. Once we're done with that, pick up my brushes to avoid the horse stepping on them. I'm going to go around the horse, either staying really close and only keeping a hand on her, or if I was to do this the other way, I could go quite wide like this to avoid getting kicked. Up the horse will see you, come up to the hip, move over him. Okay, then again, working on this side. Starting with the curry comb again, going down with the hair. Alright, so I'm going to work on another thing I highly recommend and like to do with the horse is pick out their feet before riding. So when you're going to do that, you starting at the shoulder with your hand on your shoulder, you go down to here. You can either squeeze the tendon down here and they'll pick up the foot. You cradle the foot like that, or if the horse does not respond to that, you can actually twist the chestnut. Oftentimes the horse will respond better to that. So you can cradle the foot like this. This horse, she is prone to founder, so she's got founder feet. She's had laminitis in the past. Get out any big chunks, starting at the base of the frog and pushing forward, going with the clefts. Because she's founder, she's kind of got some separation in the wall, so her especially, you want to get out any excess dirt there. She also needs a trim. She's quite long right now, and I need to work on that later. But cleaning out the frog and around the foot. I do it this way just for cleaning. If I was to trim the horse, I'd go like this and hold the feet like this, and then I could work on it. So that's the front foot. Now the back foot again, you want to go down going down the hip. Come down, and usually it's better on this one. You can squeeze again, or you can pull forward slightly so that the horse, and they'll let them pick up the leg, and they will relax. Bring it back. You can gently cradle the knee, let them give to you. Like this, you can let it set on your knees. The dog will get out of the way. These feet aren't quite so bad, but again, they still do have a little bit of separation here and there, so it's important you can come back again and get out these back collateral grooves. The heel. I'm going to do this to all 4 feet, but for the sake of the video, we will do just these 2. And then when you go to let go, gently let them set it down, let the horse relax its leg. Alright, so part 2. I'm going to work on this is the tacking up and saddling. So usually you start with the, you always start with the saddle blanket. Good idea is to check through the underside that's going to be laying on the horse, make sure there's no stickers or any slivers that could poke the horse or any burrs and the likes. So when you put the blanket on, you go up, and she's got exceptionally high withers, so you even go a little bit further up on this horse. So you pull the blanket up a little further than where the saddle is going to be sitting, that way there's not any rubbing. Always try to even it out on both sides, so that both ends are sitting even on the horse. It just helps with balancing overall. I usually try to look down the center line and make sure it's kind of riding okay. Alright, so then saddling. Take the off side of the horse that the saddle's going to be going on, pull up the stirrup, any other articles that could get in the way when setting it on. Again, double check the blanket, make sure it's riding okay. Go up, you set, you don't swing it up there, you set the saddle up on there to avoid the stirrup from coming around and banging the horse. Come on to the other side. Rope, stirrup, and then pull your cinch and back cinch down, making sure everything is sitting square where it needs to be. Again, you want to make sure the saddle is sitting fairly square on the horse, not going over the blanket, but sitting up on the withers so it can grip well. Go back to the other side. So now you put this stirrup up so it doesn't get in the way. Pull out your latigo. Pull this here. Now this saddle has been situated for this horse. You want to get the cinch situated so that for the most part it is centered and square under the horse. So here you take the end of your latigo, feed it through the cinch ring, making sure that there's no twists. Now she's kind of a thin-barreled horse. She's fat right now, but still. You go up through. Most horses it only takes 1, maybe 2 wraps. It's a good 2 for her. Go again. Again, feeding it through. Cinch it up, making sure everything's in line and snug. And usually, good rule of thumb is 2 fingers, being able to fit 2 fingers under there. Gotta make sure there's nothing catching and getting in the way. Got a little shaky foot right now, good. Then you take the pin. And go like this. Stick that pin in there. Check the cinch again. It's pretty good. You go up and then you have your latigo keeper up top. You always start with the main cinch first. Keep it on, make sure the saddle's sitting square. You next go to the back cinch. The back cinch you don't need as tight. Usually you want to be able to fit 2 fingers width. It's just a backup. It doesn't need to be tightened down on the horse. Again, you want things mostly square underneath there. And then after that, you bring down the stirrup gently, not to bang the horse. Usually you want to warm the horse up a little bit to make sure that they're breathing. Some horses will suck in air. She doesn't normally, so I'll go ahead and bridle her. She's pretty much ready to ride now. I'll grab the bridle quick and we'll start this again. Alright, so to bridle, you take your lead rope, make sure it's not looped You take one end, you can go over the horse's neck because you're going to have to take off the halter, so you always want a safety in case the horse decides to get away. I usually just lay this over my shoulder so it's right there to catch if she decides to do that. You take your halter, drop off the nose piece, keeping the upper headband part. You go right around the throat latch. And again, when you tie, you always want it under here so it creates a knot that is easy to break in case the horse is pulled back previously. It always is pretty break. So then to bridle, you take your reins like this. I usually lay them over my shoulder. You then cradle the bridle headstall up top. Take a thumb and finger down here at the bit. Go in, you stick that thumb in the corner of the horse's mouth. They open, you slip it in, on. That. Pulling out any excess hair that gets stuck under there. Good idea is usually keep the bridle path fairly well trimmed. It's about time for her to be trimmed again. Pull this under. The throat latch you don't want tight, but you don't want too loose either. Again, the 2-finger width rule is usually a pretty good idea. Works pretty well. Alright, so to mount, you take the reins in your left hand, place your left hand right about here, take your right hand, and go to the stirrup that you are going to be mounting in. You take your left foot, and you turn the stirrup towards you so your foot is ready to swing in. Once you're ready, you can take your hand, go to the horn, up, like so. Now I'm going to demonstrate the walk and trot. So the conditions out here are a little icy, so we may go a little bit slower because things are kind of slipping and kind of soft on top and icy below. So we'll try this here, see how it goes. Here's the walk.
And on the other side. Go ahead and go around me.
Half-hearted trot.
Happy trails to you until